Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can select elements from error report with the help of Dynamo. As you probably know, if you go to manage, here inquiry, you have the error report, which you can see the warnings inside of your Revit file. And if you have large files, you will have hundreds and hundreds of warnings. As you can see in this file, in this sample model, I have some warnings. Some of them are like highlighted floors overlap, and you can actually see them in here directly and go one by one, but this is really time consuming. And if you have a large project with hundreds and hundreds of warnings, this is just like, it will take you forever. So you can actually process this with Dynamo, and this workflow is pretty useful for BIM managers and BIM coordinators. So I'm going to show you how I am processing this in my projects. So first what you need to do is to export this report to some location, and you will get this HTML document, which is your error report. And this one you can now process in Dynamo. So I have already exported it in here, as you can see. So I will close this, and now I will open my Dynamo. Okay, now in Dynamo I will create a new script for processing this error report. So first of all, we need to find the file path. So I will go with the file path node. And I will find my HTML document, this node on tower sample error report. Okay, so I have my error report. Now I need to process it, and I can do this thanks to Archela package. And I will go with my warning parse HTML, this one from the Archilab, and I will just put the file path in. Now if I run the script, you can see that you will get the warning elements from this HTML warning. So now what I want is to have error message. So I will go with my warning assigned error message. Sorry, not this one, but this one, assigned error message. This is also from the Archela package. So I will just pass it in there, and now you can see all of the warning messages in this HTML error report. So what I want to do now is to know only unique values. So I will go with my, because now I have 34, but if you have hundreds or even maybe thousands, this is like too much to process. So I want to know only the unique texts and errors, and you can see that I have 10 different errors. Okay, now let's say that I want to focus only on this error, which is telling me that highlighted walls are overlapping. So I want to filter only these errors, and I can do this with string contains. If I will process this, okay, this Dynamo search is really bad. Okay, so I will go with my string. I will go with the string input. And I will look for walls overlap. So if it contains walls overlap, it will give me true. So if I now run the script, you can see that I have false, 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 some trues, and some false, and so on. So I have now my Boolean mask, which I can use to filter these warnings to get only the warnings that have walls overlap in them. So I will go my filter by Boolean mask. And now if I go with my strings, I can go for strings. So you can see that if I run this, that I have only the highlighted walls overlap. But these are strings. I want actually the warning elements. So I need to pass this one. And now I have only the warning elements which have in them highlighted walls overlap. Okay, next I need to get an actual element from this warning. So I want to go with my warning elements. So I will go here and go with my elements. And if I run the script, you can see these are my warning elements. And now what I want to get is the IDs. So I can use these IDs to select these elements in Revit directly. So first I will flatten this. Because now you can see that it is actually in pairs, because inside of my error report these are in pairs, but I do not need this list structure, so I will just flatten it. So I will have a list of elements. Now I want to have element IDs. So I will go with this one, Archelab warning element. Now if I run the script, you can see all of the IDs of the elements. And now the last thing which I need to do is to select elements with these IDs inside of my Revit project. And I can do this with select by ID. This one from Dynamo package. And I will put it in here. And now if I run the script, I will get a selection of elements of these IDs, which are corresponding to my warning elements, which are inside of my warnings, which has a text of highlighted walls overlap from this error report. So this is the full script. And now if I run the script, you will not see anything because I have Revit underneath. But if I go to my Revit now, you can see that I have my 15 walls selected. And what I can do now is to go to 3D with the box view, for example. But sometimes what happens is that I will click away and lose the selection. But don't worry, you can just right click the canvas and go with the select previews. Now you have the same selection. I will go with the BX shortcut to show it in 3D. Now I can isolate it. And these are all of the walls that are inside of my review warnings dialog in my error report. And I can go and review them. As you can see here, these are overlapping, and I can just modify it so I will clean these errors. So this is the workflow that I'm using, and you can use this for different warning types. And I hope it will help you with your projects, and see you next time.